Hello everyone, I'm Trace by Ibra, and today I just want us to have a recap on to today's trading. Like today is Wednesday, and this is Nasdaq 100. This is a 15-minute time frame. This is a daily time frame, and this is US 500. So I just want to have a recap. Just mangunyo one. Okay, today it is Wednesday. Look onto this inversion favor gap that we have, or that we have, like it. Okay. When you look onto price on lower time frames, price has been really disrespecting a raise for this market to be bearish. When you look onto this high, swing high, that inversion favor gap, no favor gap area. So price has really showed not to be bearish. Okay, we bang it as a taking up bearish. Then I went in with a bias that the market is gonna come to this encroachment and to this high. They're not relative, but to that high and to the upper part of that daily volume imbalance. That gap or that imbalance anyways. So tulina zino significant highs, so zibaddewo, like I've marked them like for all these days market etandika okuba bullish. So netufuna this bearish move, anticipating that price is gonna move to the downside, but now it has respected a raise for it to be bearish. Okay, so that's how I got to the bias yokubera bullish. Now I want us to drop on the lower time frame and we look onto that. My aim was the encroachment, then that upper part of the volume imbalance. Not wasting time to dropping a one time frame in here to okay. So here, so I marked my first presented favor gap on the 1 minute time frame, and that was the imbalance in here. So we had twawadde n'amawulire ga red impact kusaawa nnya. So I waited for that silver blade opening kusaawa nnya, and that is the time that I trade, or I like to take the trade. Like anything outside that time zone, I'm waiting for that time. Okay, so the next thing I did was to mark the macro in here. So that is the first favor gap that we got kusaawa nnya, or after that event. But when you look close onto this favor gap, this ES is making a lower low and Nasdaq is not making a lower low. Okay, Nasdaq has traded into the encroachment of this favor gap on for the 15-minute time frame. Okay, so while this was moving to the lower, ngekola SMT oba ngekola lower low, enyawadde eri mu imbalance yayo nga trading to the encroachment. Now that gave me a strong bias or a strong confluence that the market is gonna move to the upside, to this high area above the encroachment or area next to that encroachment of the volume imbalance. Okay, now what I did is when I saw this favor gap made an inversion favor gap with that swing high, got a market structure shift, I entered onto this favor gap in here. Okay, not anticipating that price will come below, so it was like this. That's when the price again could down to this like this lower half of this inversion favor gap. Okay, price in consolidating and dropping to the downside back to the encroachment of this week. So I closed my position manually, not letting it to come to this low because it was on the low. Okay, so you can look onto this volume imbalance. Okay, price has traded into that volume imbalance, and you could anticipate that price is going to be bearish. When you look on this displacement in here with this swing low and a swing high, you could want to take a short in here, but that wasn't the hard time price. According to what price has been doing on the daily chart, it has been disrespecting a raise for it to be bearish. So I stayed on the sidelines. I didn't want to take a short, even though I was above New York Minute Open. Like you could anticipate maybe price to come to the lower side, but with this SMT showed me that the market will not come to the downside. So it gave me a strong confluence. Not that it can't, but yampada stronger confluence that's why you like I have a stop loss in here. Okay, I'm trusting this SMT that the market won't come to the downside after getting a respect of when quarter Fibonacci range making at that high market you're reacting the OTE of that range in here at the OTE level, and the OTE of this level, it is the mean, it is the cross encroachment of this 15 fair value gap in here. You can see that because like OTE, cross encroachment of that fair value gap is there. Okay, just above the OTE of that fair value gap, 15 fair value gap. Okay, so when price give me that reaction, rallies, makes this CB an inversion fair value gap, it returns dropped. Now this could make you want to take a short, but I stayed on sidelines. I say no, I'm not taking any shots. I'm staying with that bias. If I'm wrong, like my bias, I won't take any short. Like can you take a price at dropping it where it wants, then I will wait for a bullish setup for me to aim for that, for this, because on the hard time frame, like market yaganyo kubera bearish. So I rejected that. So when price disrespected that fair value gap in the time frame, by the way, so we are disrespecting this fair value gap, negative full inversion fair value gap. I entered at the upper half of this inversion fair value gap there, putting my stop loss onto this low, because if it has failed to take out that low, reacted on the OTE, which is in discount, it's not coming back to this low. So yes, rallies, breaks this high, breaks that high to the fair value gap, respected nicely, rallies into this 26th first present fair value gap, energy term. Now this candle, we're messing the things up, and that's why we have a stop loss. So it come back at me, tapping it out there. So I didn't want to chase this. I said, okay, I've been wrong, and yeah, can come one for today, because I've already taken 2 positions in here. This is what I'm talking about. So that is why that was my first entry in here. Then I closed it manually when it came to this low, because I didn't want to see it coming at the lower part of that fair value gap. At least it would have just stayed into that fair value gap, then I could trust that price when it come back to that low. It didn't, then it went up. Okay, I'm gonna try again. When I saw this fair value gap, I waited. It was made an inversion fair value gap. Okay, someone was short in here. I took a long. Okay, trusting this low. Then price gave me that structure, a nice bullish structure, but at 10:38, we got this sharp stopped out, like at this low. Even someone who was here was stopped out. So that's where I stopped. I stayed on the sidelines. I never chased that the market is gonna drop. No, because at the hard time frame, wallahi yaganyo kubera bearish. So we have got that level that I was anticipating, but I still have not got that entry. I was anticipating that if it breaks this high and comes back into this fair value gap, at least that could be strong, and I will trust the low in here. But a second day, I'm moving out to the upside. Like according to the day, like it is a new year, and this is the first week in the new year, and the week that NFP. So like I think you could expect something like that. This has really been sharp. Tugenda kulowa time frame eziddiringana wanene oba 3, like tekigenda kuwa something actually really into that much. You can see that the candles eriko nnyo tezikuwa that structure. That's why I like the 30 and the 3-minute time frame, and those are the time frames I really work on. But with this kind of markets, okay, with this time, like lower time frame require more structure. So I think that's gonna be it for this video, and I'm Trace by Ibra. Hope you have at least got something, and let us catch back into the next video.